space expert, Eddie
Yay!
Whistler. He's back. He's the planetarium director at the Museum of Science and History, and we love having him every month. Welcome. How's it going?
It's so much fun to be here every
It's
month.
great to have you.
Yeah.
We just learned a new word,
We did, like, just as I entered the studio and we got talking right away.
pareidolia.
Yeah, pareidolia.
So this is the practice of finding some sort of sense in random things, like you see a
Find a
face.
face in grilled cheese sandwiches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or in toast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
How does that take us into the outer realms?
Because it's pattern seeking. We are the pattern seeking creatures
Mhm.
to have none above us on this planet. And so we look up into the nighttime sky and we're just gonna do that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the stars they remain over the length of civilizations. And so, in the planetarium, we get people all the time who are asking, why is it that the stars are in the locations that they're at? There's Orion, there's Scorpius, there's kings and queens and villains and heroes and musical instruments
And animals.
and animals. But it's worth noting that every civilization and every ancestor, tribe, everywhere on the planet had very different things to say about all of the patterns in the sky, right? They connected them completely different ways.
Uh-huh.
But they remain for long periods of time. You could take somebody from thousands of years ago, bring them to today, and they'll look up and they'll recognize the sky. It's the one thing that had remained.
Because the
But
sky is the same as it was over those many, many years.
yes,
Mhm.
but if you go back tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, now the stars have shifted in the sky. What our ancient ancestors thought was permanent changes. And the reason why that is really fun. But to finish up with what it was that we were just talking about, the stars are in their locations temporarily and they are not in a special place necessarily, even though some of them, like Orion, looks really good, you know? But Lynx it doesn't really look like what it's supposed to be, So some of the stuff really pops out and some of the stuff doesn't. But it's because we're seeing the stars in some temporary arrangement. It's as random as when you drive down the street and raindrops in a rainstorm land on your windshield in a particular pattern.
Just completely random.
It's just there. We are in a storm of stars. This is
Mm.
why we see our neighborhood stars. We see the points of light in the nighttime sky because, like a raindrop is in a hurricane, and sometimes there are nearby raindrops that you could see as your neighbors. We're in a storm of stars
Huh.
called the Milky Way galaxy, and we look up and out. That's the important part. We don't look up. One thing that we raise our consciousness of our guests who come into the planetarium, everybody wants to look up at the nighttime sky, but you'll look at it differently if you start thinking about looking out into our neighborhood in the universe. Now, all of a sudden, you're doing a very different thing.
Explain how. Why is that different?
Because looking up makes you think that you're there's a canopy, there's a dome, you're
Mm.
looking up at it.
And you're the center, sort of.
And that you're the center looking up at a thing, but you're not. A clear nighttime sky is a windshield, and you're looking out into our neighborhood. And so, just like a raindrop could arise to consciousness and look out at other raindrops in its nearby area, and it would say, oh, that raindrop is over there, and oh, that raindrop is over there. We're in a storm of stars called a galaxy, and we're looking out at all of our neighborhood stars that are fellow travelers, and everybody, just like raindrops in a hurricane, would be moving radic because the wind is buffeting them around. Well, gravity is pulling all of our neighbors in different directions, and they're fellow travelers, but they have their own trajectories. They're all moving through the galaxy in different ways. And you run that sky and fast forward a million years, and you would watch as these different stars are moving in different directions, some towards us, some away, some up, some down, some to the left, to the right. And so we are looking up at a nighttime sky, moving 230 miles per second around a galaxy, and that seems fast, but that speed is just a meager speed in the turning of the galaxy, and over just a measly couple thousand years, not much changes.
So some of it is perspective, figuring out how to look at things and not just what you're looking at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perspective, because we are attached to this planet,
Mhm.
looking out into the nighttime sky, and nothing really changes over that short amount of time.
So you have, as always, part of a series that's coming up. This one is on black holes, which are endlessly fascinating.
Oh, so much fun. September 18th, audience is 55 and older only. It's a series called the Silver Space Series.
And that is 9 a.m. to 12:30 on September 18th.
Yeah, yeah.
Eddie Whistler, we love having you here. Thank you so much for coming on today.
It's so much fun, always.
All right.